In this video, I'll be teaching you guys how to memorize the unit circle. Okay, so first thing, in order to memorize the full unit circle, you must know quadrant 1, the first quadrant, which is this one right here. So quadrant has 3 coordinates, which are these 3 points. So the easiest 2 points are this one and this one. So for this one, this coordinate is 1, 0. For this top one, it is 0, 1. So those are the 2 easiest points for the first quadrant. So for this one, the degree of this is just 0 degrees, and in radians, which is on this side, is just 0. And up here, this one is 9 degrees. As you see, it formed like a right angle right here. If you were to draw a small square there. And 90 degrees in radian is pi over 2. So you know those 2 points, and great, you are on track to memorizing the first quadrant. First, let's label degrees here. So for this one, this angle right here, 30 degrees, okay? And then this one is going to be 45 degrees. And this one's going to be 6 degrees, okay? I'll show you guys the patterns once we fill out the entire circle, but I'm just teaching you guys the first quadrant. All you need to do is memorize the first 3 points on the first quadrant of the unit circle. And then once you get those 3 points memorized, you literally know all of the points in the rest of the quadrants in the unit circle. We now need to know the first 3 points. So for this point right here, root 3 over 2, comma 1 half. This next point, the 45 degree one, is going to be root 2 over 2, comma root 2 over 2. If you guys were to draw like a line here and form some sort of triangle, this is 45 degree 90 triangle, spelled right triangle, and you see that these 2 points are the same because of the legs on a 45 90 triangle. They are equal, they're congruent to each other. Simply for this point on the 6th degree is just this point right here, but let's just flip it, okay? So for our x, it's going to be 1 half comma root 3 over 2. You can see that these are same, but for this one is root 3 over 2 comma 1 half, but we just flip it for this one for the 6th degree, just 1 half comma root 3 over 2. Once you know those 3 points and fully memorize them, you don't really need to know these points over here. You don't need to memorize the points in quadrant 2, 3, and 4 to fully label the unit circle. There's some sort of pattern that I do. Look, you see this point right here. This point is right across from this point on quadrant 2. So in the quadrant 2, you know that, let me just write it here. In quadrant 2, we know that our ordered pair of x and y, we know that x is going to be negative, right? Negative x. And then y is going to be positive. For this one, it's going to be, our x is going to be negative 1 half comma root 3 over 2. As you can see that these are the same, but the only difference is that since this is in quadrant 2 and then x is negative in quadrant 2, our 1 half in the x and our ordered pair is going to be negative, while our y is going to be positive. Now for our second point in the second quadrant, we have this point here. If we just draw a straight horizontal line across from quadrant 1 to quadrant 2, imagine this. Look, draw a line from here to here. They're equal, some for forming a triangle. And then for this, our x is going to be negative while our y is going to be positive. So it's going to be negative root 2 over 2 comma root 2 over 2. For the third point, let's just draw a horizontal line again, and then it's going to be negative root 3 over 2 comma 1 half. Once we got done with quadrant 2, we could just use the same pattern for quadrant 3. So by drawing another line, but this time it's vertical, from this point right here, okay? Just imagine sum of a triangle right here. If we were to say 150 on the, we were going to this 150 degrees would be right here, right? And if we want to say what is negative 150 degrees, right? We would have to go clockwise, okay? Because going clockwise is negative. So by going clockwise, we're going this way, okay? We're not going this way. We're not going counterclockwise. We're going this way. So we can just know that, oh, if I know that negative 150 degrees is going to be 210, and it's going to be right here. this is 150 degrees, so you can kind of see the relationship between these. So if this is negative root 3 over 2 comma 1 over half, this is going to be negative root 3 over 2. Now our y is going to be negative, so it's going to be negative 1 half. Same thing for this one. So we just draw another line going down here. This coordinate is going to be negative root 2 over 2 comma negative root 2 over 2. Okay. And then the same thing for this one. Draw another vertical line out here. Since our x is negative, it's still negative here, so negative 1 half. Our y is going to be negative, so negative root 3 over 2. Okay, now we can do the same from quadrant 3 to quadrant 4. Draw another line here. Now it's going to be, our x is going to be positive now in quadrant 4, I mean. So 1 half comma negative root 3 over 2. Our y is still going to be negative here. And the same thing for this one. Root 2 over 2 comma negative root 2 over 2. And the last one right here. Root 3 over 2 comma negative 1 half. That is how you memorize the unit circle. If you know 3 coordinates of these, you could find all of the coordinates in the unit circle. Like if we were to go backwards, if I want to use quadrant 1 and find quadrant 4, I could just draw a line, or you don't have to, but it's just something to help you be organized. So this would be root 3 over 2, and this one now, instead of becoming positive, it would become negative, so you can see the same thing.